If you're a subscriber to my channel, then you are interested in mechanical things, whether it be mopeds, motorcycles, cars, trucks, custom fabrication. And if you're interested in all those things, how can you not be intrigued to learn more about these old tractors? They are mechanical marvels. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am the one and only infamous Kentucky Yankee, for those of you that don't know. And today I'm going to spend the day trying to put together a 5 or 10 minute video on this old tractor. What I would consider to be the very first compact tractor. Have you ever seen these old tractors on a farm, or maybe on a calendar, in a magazine, maybe on YouTube, and wondered, why are they so odd looking? Why are they so tall? Why are they offset? What are these points for underneath it? Why does it have this barrel on top? What are these chains over here driving? What are they for? This is a 1954 Farmall Cub. They probably made 100 billion and 20 of these things, I guess, and they make bigger versions of these, not referred to as a Cub, but just they have different numbers, like a 140. Anyways, to better understand all these mechanical features I was just telling you about, we need to understand the time period that this thing was being used. If you're a man living years ago in rural America, you probably had somewhere in the neighborhood of, 30 to 50 kids, and you probably had a little farm with your own animals and a little garden so you could feed your big family. Years ago, they didn't have herbicides and stuff like that, which is just like poison to kill the weeds and keep the filth out of your garden. So what they would do is plant everything in rows, kind of like this sweet corn right here that I got planted. And still today, it's common practice to plant everything in rows. Makes it easier to keep everything cleaned up and stuff like that. But back in those days, this is where the Farmall Cub shined. Not only that, but the 30 and 50 kids. So all of this weird looking contraption, blue mechanism, is called cultivators. And if you look down here below it, below the tractor, you will notice that these little points here, they're called plow points. You set those down. Your plant is in a row right here in the middle. And you know, Dad would most likely cruise down on his Farmall Cub through the rows while his, 50 kids followed behind this thing to get the leftover weeds in between the plants. So while you're ripping the weeds out, cleaning up the filth in your rows, why not kill two birds with one stone and fertilize your plants? And that's what this bin is for. If you look up in this bin here, I'll get you up in here, you put fertilizer in here, that little auger spins, it falls into this little spot right here, which is adjustable with this lever right here. It regulates the amount of fertilizer that'll come out of this pipe right here. It will drop right in behind this plow point and right next to the plant and get covered back over, usually with this other one or whatever, I don't know. It just kind of flops the dirt over the top of the fertilizer next to the plant. The way the fertilizer dispenser is driven is simple but ingenious. Look, they have a gear back here onto the drive axle, the bull gear. This is called a bull gear inside of that housing. And there's a gear here, just basically driven off of the wheel. And it drives that chain. That chain turns. And when you lower it, this is the coolest part about this thing, I think. When you lower it, see these two gears mesh together. Can you see that? When you lower this down, when you lower your cultivators down, this will mesh together with this other gear. It will make this chain drive. When this chain drives, you're spinning the auger and you are puking out fertilizer from that little pipe right there. With a little gardening tractor set up like this one right here, it would be also common to have a plate planter. And a plate planter, all that is a seed planter that had different plates in it to accommodate the different size seeds. And it would be mounted right here. I don't have one, but you would mount it right here. And it was just a very efficient way of planting a lot of seeds quickly. There was also a mechanism that fit underneath here, and I will explain more about that. The mechanism I'm referring to would fit onto this, which is called a toolbar. And the way it would work, these cultivators come off This was, back in the day, it was like a quick removal deal. You would take this one nut out, this wedge, and slide this off, and you could put another attachment onto this toolbar. Also, here in the back, this was considered a quick attach deal on the Cub. And what it is, you would loosen these two nuts. This one's just got a hole. This one is a hook. You know, there's a hook right here. So you just tilt it up to pop it off and put whatever other attachment you wanted to put on it. They made like millions of different attachments for these little Cubs. They were a very versatile little compact tractor back in the day. This little tractor has so many interesting mechanical features on it, I could just talk all day long about it. Instead of that, let's get it out in the field, put it to work, and you guys can just check things out as I go along. Before I do the last row, I wanted to show you guys the difference. Look at that. Look how nice and cleaned up it looks down through those rows with this corn. See that? And this is where it was not cultivated, and it just looks crummy. Most of the weeds are out of it, but still it's good to cultivate it. Puts dirt up against the edge of the corn. And if you'll look over here, this corn is smaller than that other corn. It's not as tall, and that is because I plant it in stages. This is the second planting of sweet corn. I have a third planting on the other side of these beans over here. And I will still plant one more stage of sweet corn, and we will have sweet corn then for months. So there you have it, guys. And I presume you already figured out why this tractor is offset. And it is because so you can look right down there between your legs and watch what you're doing as you're cultivating these plants. There is a view of the cockpit for you. You see? You get a real nice view of the plants while you're cultivating so that you don't tear up as many plants. But you will hit a plant every now and then. And again, that's what the 50 kids are for. Fun fact about a Farmall Cub. They have radiators, antifreeze, but no water pump. Isn't that interesting? To me, that's interesting. No water pump? Weird. But it works that way good. It always stays cool. I have cultivated in 100-degree weather. One thing may threaten my sweet corn, and it lives inside of this big tree. My hopes in making this video is that I reach a few people out there, maybe that know nothing at all about this equipment, but are very interested in mechanical things. Such a simple piece of equipment, such a finely engineered piece of equipment, lasting the test of time. This is a 1954, still useful today. The very first compact tractor, in my opinion. I could carry on about this old tractor just for days, about all the equipment and attachments you can get for it, about the way it's made, etc., etc., etc. Anyways, I don't want to bore you guys, so I'm going to cut the video off now. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope somebody learned something. I hope you older fellers out there just enjoyed watching me use it. I already know that you know all about it, and we'll see you next time, guys.